all these angels are here because they are celebrating the birthday of a very special child. Now, this child was born more than 2000 years ago, and it all began with a lady called Mary. Mary lived in Israel, and she was going to be married to a man called Joseph. Joseph was a carpenter. Mary and Joseph were very much in love with each other, and they were very excited to be married. One day, Mary was at her mother's house when suddenly from the sky she saw a bright, shining light coming towards her. She didn't know what that light was, and she was very alarmed. She tried to hide, but the light came closer and closer to her, and she realized when she looked that it was actually an angel. And the angel came to her and said, "Mary, do not be afraid, for I am the bringer of good news. To you is going to be born a very special son, and he will be the savior of the world." And saying this, the angel flew back into the sky and disappeared. Mary was so excited to hear this. "Oh my goodness, to me is going to be born a son who is going to be the savior of the world." And she told this to Joseph. Now Joseph was a little concerned because that night he had to make a trip to Bethlehem. "Oh Mary, I have to go to Bethlehem and you have to come with me. But if you're going to have a son, it might be a very difficult journey." But Mary agreed to go with him, and so they both left for Bethlehem. In the land at that time, there was a king who ruled called Herod. And Herod got to hear that a very special child was being born. Instead of being happy, Herod got very upset.
Special child? Can anybody be more special than me? Guards, go and look for this special boy and kill him. Look, in fact, for any boy who is 1 year old or 2 years old, or any newly born baby boy, and kill them all. It cannot be that even one of these children should grow up and become more important than me. So you must go and look for this boy and kill him. Kill all the boys who have been born in the land." And Herod's guards left his castle and looked for every single boy who was either 1 year old or 2 years old, or even newly born babies who were boys, and began to kill them. Now, everybody was searching for this special baby, but nobody knew exactly where he was. Only the people who had a pure heart, who really wanted to meet this child who was being born, who was so special, were told where the baby would be born. And who was telling them this? The angel. The angel appeared to all who had pure hearts and told them, "The way you can find this special baby is to follow the star. Follow the star." And the angel appeared to innocent shepherds and gave them the good news. And the angel also appeared to 3 wise men, who we also call kings, and told them to follow the star. I'm sure you all know the Christmas carol, "We Three Kings." Let's sing it together, and let's look at these wise men and understand why we sing this song.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts which traverse afar, field and mountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty,
Now Herod's guards were searching the entire land for a newly born baby boy. They searched every single house and every single inn, and they went to every single place. Everyone was very tense. Now they even reached Bethlehem, and they were checking all the hotels and all the inns for anyone who was having a newly born baby. And if it was a boy, they would kill it. Mary and Joseph also arrived in Bethlehem. Now all the hotels and all the inns were full. So there was no place for Mary or Joseph to stay. And Mary was about to have a baby. Finally, Joseph and Mary found shelter in a stable. That is a place where the horses and the cows live. And it was in a stable, in a small little manger, that Mary finally gave birth to little baby Jesus. And Herod's soldiers were looking everywhere for someone who was having a baby, but they didn't think of looking in a stable for a human baby. In the meantime, the angel was informing all the people who were pure of heart exactly where this special baby boy was born. And all the pure of heart knew that they had to follow the star to finally reach the correct place. The 3 wise men followed the star, and the shepherds followed the star, and many boys and girls who were really eager to see who this special baby was who would finally save the world. They all followed the star, and they reached the stable. And there in a manger, they saw little baby Jesus. I'm sure you've all heard that song, Away in a Manger. Well, let's try and sing it together. Can you imagine? The world's Savior was not born in a grand palace or a big mansion. He was born in a stable, in a humble little manger. And usually what happens when someone special is born? There's a lot of music, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of sound, and there's a lot of dancing. But for baby Jesus, there was silence. All the people who were pure of heart, who really wanted to see him, heard the music made by the angels in the sky. They were playing their trumpets, they were playing their drums, and they were proclaiming to the whole world that baby Jesus was born. But otherwise, there was silence. And that's where that special song comes from that we all know, that carol of Christmas, Silent Night. So let's finally end this beautiful story with the song Silent Night.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright round yon virgin mother and child. Joy, infant so tender and round, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
And the angels remind us all that no matter how old we might be, we were all children once. And no matter how young you might be and how old you might become, you will always have with you your guardian angel who will look after you and take care of you.
Moving through